What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Opps SportsCast. We're happy to have you with us tonight. I'm your host, Dave in the Cut. And on tonight's episode, we'll be discussing our top 5 quarterbacks, legacy over jewelry, George Foreman, and the weekly roundup. So we got a good lineup for you tonight. Got a lot of topics to discuss. We're going to jump into it. Fellas, what's going on? How is everybody doing?
What up?
What up, Doc?
All right, let me have my crew introduce themselves. Fellas, go ahead, do your thing.
I'm Josh from East Side.
It's your boy Big Zeke.
Yo, what up, everyone? It's Chris Peasy in the building.
Chris Peasy in the building. Wearing that criminal outfit over there. Look like he doing 5 to 10.
Bro, we excited, man. Open day tomorrow. Life is good, bro. The sun is out.
5 to 10, man.
And the Mets have been eliminated from the playoffs.
D-block, baby.
Oh, my God.
Yo.
That would be the Cowboys.
Big day tomorrow, man. Oh, look at okay.
Hey, we all represent. We all represent.
Yeah, man. You know, open the day tomorrow. We'll get into that a little bit later. How's everybody doing, man?
Good.
Good,
Need a
bro.
haircut.
All good, man.
Get shaved.
Yeah, I'm
shaving.
scruffing
It's been a
my
crazy
breath
sports week, man. So we got a lot to get into, bro. So
yeah.
Let's start off real quick. Peasy, why don't you tell us about this week's sponsor?
Yeah. This week's sponsor is Elevated Creations. Pull it up on the screen for me here. Yep. Elevated Creations ROC LLC is Rochester's premier woman-owned balloon and event decor specialist. Whether you're planning an office party, intimate birthday celebration, or luxurious wedding, Elevated Creations ROC LLC will transform your visions into unforgettable memories. Stunning balloon arrangements, custom centerpieces, welcome signs, and seating charts, they do it all. Elevated Creations ROC LLC is here to make your event exceptional, creating moments that wow your guests and make your special day truly extraordinary. So if you want to transform your event from ordinary to extraordinary, visit their website at elevatedcreationsroc.com for more information. Elevated Creations. We were created to create.
All right. Shout out to Elevated Creations. We appreciate your sponsorship and your partnership with us. Be sure to check them out. Great company, great service. All right, fellas, it's time to get into it, man. So this week has been crazy, bro. We got to the topics late this week.
Yeah.
We changed up topics, like not so much changed them up, man, but we really had to decide like what we were going, what we gonna rock with. You know what I'm saying? So
That's my bad. I was moving something off my mouse and I clicked.
Okay, all right, we're good.
Ooh,
So we had to like push stuff off until next week, and I'm sure stuff is going to take place, and then we'll just have to shuffle stuff around again. But this week is going to be interesting. So let's jump into it. Let's start it off. Let's kick it off. So let me explain to everybody how this goes. All right. So what we do is the format is that we introduce a topic. All right, and based on the topic and based on our agreement or disagreement with the topic, we use a number range with 5 being in agreement and 1 being in disagreement. So the topic will be raised and we will vote on that topic and then we will have a discussion about it. All right. So let's jump into it and get to our first topic. Ready to go? All right, let's rock.
This one, we really not doing
this ain't going this. Yeah, you're right, Josh. So this one is just
we're straying from normal right here.
We talked about this last week. So we're gonna chop it up about this topic amongst the guests here on the show, and we advise anybody, all of our viewers to just jump in with comments or opinions on this. But so let's get with it. So based on personal preference, who are your top 5 NFL quarterbacks of all time? So we put this question out during the week. We asked for 5 teams, and somebody decided that they wanted to do 10 teams. So I'm going to let that person go first. Peasy, tell us your top 5, and try to avoid telling us all 10. But we got time.
Yeah. No, that's all good. Like, I mean, My man Zeke was saying that Dan Marino was top 5, and then I was there like, bro, like top 5, like, and so I started making my list of all the quarterbacks that I thought made sense. And bro, I know this is gonna be controversial. I didn't have them in my top 10, and so like,
Mute this man, please.
all right. So, anyways,
Mute him
number
permanently.
one, of course, I'll deny it if we ever have to run this videotape back, but my
Say
man
his name.
is just, yeah, he got too many MVPs and mixed with championships to not put Brady at number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, I got my man Peyton Manning, bro. I got him number 2. That's biased, but he's my number 2.
I'm glad you can
Number
admit that.
3, number 3. I mean, I think number 2 and number 3 might be interchangeable. Joe Montana, previously most considered the GOAT before Brady took that crown from him. But my opinion, I thought Manning had already passed him up. But I got Joe Montana number 3. Number 4, I got my fellow coach, Johnny Unitas, GOAT of his time. You know what I mean? Number 4 on the list. Number 5, and this is probably going to be controversial, but maybe not. Patrick Mahomes, bro. Patrick Mahomes. How does he not make that list with what he's been able to do already? And so that might be controversial, but I don't think anybody's been more dominant in their run than Patrick Mahomes. So he actually made it to my top 5, and that was debatable. I was gonna slide John Elway in there, but I had to give it to Mahomes. I mean, he almost went for a three-peat, bro. So I put Mahomes in there. It took John Elway all the way to the end of his career. So I deducted him a little bit for that. So I got Elway at 6. 7, I got my man Steve Young.
Yo, chill.
This dude
Nobody cares.
wildin', man.
Steve Young. Next.
Steve
Steve
Young.
Young, I'm talking about number 7, bro. What happened to 5, man? Go ahead, man.
5 is Patrick Mahomes.
I debate. Come on, man. This thing is not supposed.
My man says Steve Young.
Steve Young, bro.
This thing is not supposed to go past 5. He's like, you
All
told
right.
me what number you
I'll
was.
give you 6, 7, 8, 9,
Steve
10.
Young. So I went all the way to 6. I had Elway at 6, Mahomes at 5,
Let him get
Unitas at 4, 3 I had Joe Montana, 2 Peyton Manning, and 1 Tom Brady.
Okay.
Tell me who Dan Marino's kicking out in that group.
Oh my God.
Dang.
Let's go.
Oh God.
All right, so are we going to debate his top 10?
No.
No.
We said top 5. I'm scared to hear who we got after Steve Young, but I don't want to hear it right now.
Bro, they're all better, in my opinion, than who would I rather quarterback my team if I had to pick? Like, bro, it would be John Elway. It would be Steve Young because he had more success than Dan Marino did. That's crazy talk. It'd be Aaron Rodgers. I'd rather have him than Dan Marino. He even had more success. I'd rather have Brett Favre. Now, the only one that's debatable to me is I personally I'd rather have Drew Brees. But I'm willing to listen to arguments on Dan Marino being a better choice than Brees. But that's my top 10. I got Dan Marino slide at 11.
All right. You gave us more than we asked for, but it's all good.
You can't help it.
I'm just trying to school you guys. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to put you guys on the
I'm not
game.
going to front. Very, very controversial. Josh, let's go to you next.
Dang. Well, I'm going to give you some more controversy here.
He going to put Vic in there, ain't he?
So, I'm going to give you my top 5 real quick. Number 1, Tom Brady, the GOAT. There's no debating. Number 2, I got Joe Montana. Number 3, I got Dan Marino. Number 4,
crazy talk.
I got Peyton Manning. And number 5, who said it?
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick. Here's why I chose Michael Vick in my top 5. Not because I'm an Eagles fan, although he looks really good in Kelly Green right there.
That was he was desperate to put that on.
I gave Michael Vick top 5 Because I am a stats type person. I am one to look at the impact left on the game. And if you look at Michael Vick's career, both pre the judicial system and post the judicial system, Mike Vick left an impact on the field that has been sought after by many quarterbacks in even today's game. Some stats that I was seeing that were just mind blowing to me. He holds the NFL record for career rushing yards. I understand he's a quarterback and his primary job is to throw the ball. But when you can't throw the ball, you got to be able to move the ball and make big plays. NFL records for career rushing yards by a quarterback at 6,109 and career yards per carry at 7 yards per carry. He also holds records for career yards per rush attempt. He also holds records for he was the first ever quarterback to rush over 1,000 yards in a single season, achieving a 10.39 in 2006. And he set an NFL postseason record for a quarterback with 119 rushing yards in the first round of the 2004 playoffs. And he led the league in yards per rush attempt a record 5 times. To me, that is somebody who leaves a major impact on the game that is so sought after by young QBs today. And he's still holding records. So,
Bro, can somebody stop this madness? How is
yeah.
Vic top 5
Yo,
when
we let you talk. We gotta let him talk too.
Lamar Jackson
We let you
already
talk.
surpassed Mike
You didn't
Vick?
even put Dan Marino in your
10,
top
bro.
10.
Bro, Lamar Jackson is better than Mike Vick. How's
Prove it.
Vick in the top 5?
Prove it. Let's prove it.
Just
Oh,
Pull up
we
a
Lamar,
don't
side
want
by
to do that.
side, Vic
Lamar,
and Lamar Jackson.
Lamar chokes every year in the playoffs, man. What are you talking
Thank you.
Bro, tell me the
What's Vic's
success that Mike
playoff
Vick had in
success?
the playoffs.
about?
What did Mike Vick do in the playoffs?
What did he
How
do in
many
his
how many
career?
MVPs?
What did he
Bro,
do
how
in his
many
career?
MVPs? How many MVPs did Vic win? How many
4.
playoff games? I mean, how many all pros did he have?
Let me tell you. Okay, keep going, man. I'm gonna let you cook. I haven't revealed my list yet, but go ahead and cook. Just go ahead and cook on Vic.
Bro, I respect Vic. Norfolk State, he's coaching my local team over here. I respect Vic. But crazy talk is top 5. Bro's probably not top 20. Maybe not even top 30. I mean, Lamar
Dave,
Jackson
who
is
you
way
got, man?
You ready for me?
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go, man. I'm gonna break mine down a little bit. I'm not gonna get all into the stats. Like Josh so eloquently did. It was beautiful. Josh, I loved your list, man.
Thank you.
Here we go. Dave in the Cuts top 5. Number 1, the GOAT of all GOATs, Tom Brady. Okay. Number 2, that man Dan Marino. Every time Dan Marino picked a ball up, anytime that ball was in the air, it was getting in some hands, and it was getting in the right hands. Dan Marino is probably the illest quarterback to never win a ring. Dan Marino, without question, he's my number 2. Peyton Manning is number 3. Peyton Manning, Edgerrin James, the stretch play, pick your poison. They would kill you every single time. Pick your poison. You bite on the stretch, you go at edge, you pull that ball out, throw it downfield to one of them weapons. Just Peyton Manning, number 3. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Number 4, Johnny Unitas. That goes without saying. I have that sells itself. I don't even need to put anything on that. Number 5, Michael Vick.
What?
And I'm gonna tell you why.
What?
Number
We not
5.
talking about Madden. We talking
Number
about
My
5 is
boy.
number 5 is Michael Vick, and I'm going to tell you why. When
Just
you
crazy.
talk about top and being great, we literally have a generation of football players right now that are trying to emulate this man. The position of quarterback forever changed when Mike Vick came into the NFL. It cannot be denied. There was nothing. We saw nothing like Mike Vick when he stepped into the league. If you don't believe me, I wish we could pull up his Nike commercial.
Bro,
Mike
pull
Vick
up the
experience.
stats, Josh. Put it on the screen, bro.
If
do
you
you
could
wanna
pull
pull
up the
stats
Mike
up?
Vick experience commercial, it will give you some insight on what it was like for Mike Vick to play that position. That commercial is one of the illest. Michael Vick, and I said this already, he changed the position.
Thank you.
RG3 almost had his leg amputated trying to emulate Michael Vick. They ran RG3 thinking he was going to be Vick, and it never happened. He didn't learn how to get out of bounds. He didn't learn how to get the ball downfield. He didn't learn, how to get down. If you look at Lamar Jackson would not exist had it not been for Michael Vick. Lamar Jackson would be a pocket passer. He would have been molded and groomed as a pocket passer if it had not been for Michael Vick. Every young quarterback and every high school, pee-wee, whatever you want to call it, every coach was looking for that next Mike Vick. And you know what? They still are. Mike Vick
No, they're not.
quarterback.
They have Lamar Jackson.
Transcended the quarterback position in the NFL, bro.
But if he was on your team, you were not advancing in the
playoffs. Leave him
playoffs.
off of any top quarterback list because he forever changed the game. I stand on it. That's it. You got 2 out of the 4 saying Mike Vick is in the top 5, bro. And Josh,
you guys don't know. We're not
Are we talking top influential quarterbacks of all time or top performing quarterbacks of all time?
Did you hear them stats Josh rattled off?
Yeah, they're terrible.
Who did that?
Terrible.
Tell me, they're terrible, bro. Did Vick even win an MVP?
What?
So he was never the best quarterback in the NFL a single year in his career. That he was never the best quarterback in the NFL.
Lamar Jackson is sitting on how many MVPs right now? How many MVPs does Lamar Jackson have?
3.
And how many conference championships does he have?
How many conference championships does Vick have?
I'm asking you about Lamar Jackson. How many does he have? Since you bigging him up so much, how many does he have? If it get cold outside, man, the man ready to call his mama. He's ready to go inside.
You know what's worse than that? Even if it's not cold outside, Michael Vick is Michael Vick couldn't pass the ball like Lamar Jackson. Like if it was my team and you were there, like, bro, who would you rather watch? Vick all day. If it was Madden, who would you rather watch? Who
they would rather play
Vick all day.
They will
who would
tell
I
you
rather have on my team?
Because they know it's going to be a dub.
I would rather have Steve McNair on my team because I know I'd win more than Michael Vick. I'd rather have Steve McNair. I'd rather have Phillip Rivers.
Here's why the comparison isn't. Here's another reason why the comparison isn't fair. Mike Vick, he stepped away from the game of football to serve his time.
He got yanked away.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
This wasn't Ted Williams going to fight a war.
That's right. Let's be real.
He was supposed to. If he never stepped away from the game of football, no one knows what his career would have looked like, number-wise, MVP candidate-wise, post-playoff wise. Nobody knows.
But that's why you can't put him up there, because that's his fault.
No, you can put him up there for the simple fact that there are literally players today mimicking his style.
This is not about most influential. This is who is the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
No, he's not the top 5. We didn't say who the greatest of all time.
Top 5. Top 5. He's not top 5, bro. Zeke, talk some sense into these dudes. I know we're not going to agree on the Dan Marino. But
what quarterback is doing crazy? What quarterback is doing or has done what Mike Vick did, man? None of them. None of them. The dude's a unicorn, man.
He's such a unicorn. There's multiple quarterbacks that run better than him now.
Oh, this dude, man. Why are they doing it? They're emulating him, man. They never would have put these guys in this position had it not been for Mike Vick.
They're not emulating him because they're actually making it to the playoffs and they're actually winning MVPs. If they were emulating him, they would win no playoffs, no divisions, no MVPs.
Well, I mean,
So
that's
they're
what
not
Jackson is
emulating
doing.
him.
Jackson must be emulating him because he ain't winning no playoffs.
No, Jackson is doing it better, bro. Y'all
No,
crazy.
man.
I
I disagree.
would be less dramatic if you said I got Lamar Jackson there. I'd be like, all
I
right, I get it.
disagree, man. You throw some ice cubes at Lamar Jackson, he going
This
home.
man, this
Who
man,
cares? Vic
Patrick
is not
Mahomes.
getting you to that point to even worry about the ice
All right.
cubes.
Zeke,
Next.
get in here,
Talk
man.
some sense into
He's
these
about to
dudes,
lose his
man.
mind, man.
They don't know nothing about football,
Let
bro.
me
Come
sit
on.
over here.
School
Let me
them.
sit over here real quick.
Yeah, y'all done?
Come
Z, if you have Mike Vick in your top 5,
I
He's
promise
still
you I don't. Here's the
okay.
scary part about this. Chris, since the end of the show last week, me and you been going at it.
Yeah.
Here's the scary part. Our top 5, other than number 4, is exactly the same.
Don't tell me.
Or you think I'm
Okay.
going to say Dak Prescott or Troy Aikman? Number one, I got Tom Brady.
All right.
It's hard to argue that one.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 and number 3, interchangeable, Manning and Montana. Number 5, I got Patrick Mahomes. Number 4, Dan Marino. And I'll tell you why. When you look at the all-time lists, all-time yards, Dan Marino is 9th. All-time touchdowns, Dan Marino is 7th. Completions, he's 10th. Attempts, he's 7th. Top 10 in all of these major quarterback categories. But when you look at these lists, I'm not going to exclude this one. He's 8th all-time in wins. Okay? So that's 5 major quarterback categories. Top 10 in all of them. And if you look at these lists, other than wins, he's the only one that took a snap in the 1980s. We all know what football was like before you had the Mannings and the Bradys and the Favre slinging it around everywhere. It was 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Before Drew Brees came along, before Matty Ice, Aaron Rodgers, running game and defense. That's what you wanted to see. Every now and then, you remember when the forward pass started and everybody started losing their mind in football because it was just so taboo. They call it football because you're running the ball, you're kicking the ball. Very rarely were you passing the ball. But when Dan Marino came through, Dan Marino, I think, if we're talking about influence. Dan Marino was slinging the ball when nobody else was. Dan Marino ended his career with over 60,000 yards. I'm sorry, 61,000 yards. Dan Marino was the first quarterback to 400 touchdowns. It took a while for anybody to catch him. Dan Marino had trash defenses. Okay, I didn't look up the stats because I didn't feel like it because sometimes I suck at research. But everybody I talked to who had anything to say about Dan Marino all said the same thing. If he had a little bit of help on defense, Dan might have had a ring or two. All right, Dan Marino. You look at the running backs. Dave was talking about the pick your poison with Peyton Manning and Edgerrin James. Name a Dan Marino running back. Nope, you can't because they all sucked. They were trash. Dan Marino did more with less, and Dan Marino was very good at what he did, and that's why I have him in my top 5.
I can't name a Dan Marino quarterback because I just don't. I don't watch the Dolphins unless they were like making hay in the playoffs, and they were eliminated just too fast.
Here's the
They were
thing:
just
I didn't watch the
eliminated.
Dolphins either, but I didn't have to be a Dolphins fan to respect. I wasn't a Colts fan, but I respect Peyton Manning. I was definitely not a Patriots fan, but I respect what Tom Brady did.
Wait a minute. So who
It's
was your 5?
my 5. Tom Brady.
No, your fifth one. Fifth
Oh,
one.
Mahomes. Mahomes.
So we agree on that.
I
So
told
you
you
just
our
don't
list was exactly the same, except for
you
number
just don't
4.
got Unitas.
Right.
So where's Unitas for you?
We said top 5, Chris. I stopped
Oh,
at
okay.
5.
You would you Would you have, man, I would swap Elway with Marino. I would swap Unitas with Marino. But at least your list makes a lot more sense than these dudes. They
Hey,
doing their Madden top
I'd,
five.
I'd, I'd
Madden
like
top
to
five, I agree with
I'd
you.
like to state for the record that Dave Jones and I were not in cahoots here. We didn't discuss anything about football. Bro, I barely read the chat. Let's just put it that way.
Bro,
Bro,
I ignore y'all all day, every day for the most part. So me and Chris did. That's why he read his list. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like it's the same list. Like, why is he so stuck on not having Dan Marino in his top 10? You
bro,
made all
Unitas
these
is better
great
though.
points about your list, and then you're like, Steve Young, seventh all time. Next,
Bro, but these dudes, who's worse? Me having
okay.
Unitas or them having Vic?
I didn't have a problem with you having Johnny U because if we would have
Bro,
gone 10, Johnny U would have been on my list.
Zeke, I thought I was gonna be arguing with you, but I agree more with your list than their list
I,
now.
I appreciate them for doing what they did because I told you I wasn't going to argue. You were looking for an argument. You got your argument. It just didn't come from who you thought it was going to come from.
Nah, I really didn't, bro. This is crazy talk. Vic,
Thank you.
bro.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
All right, so let's move on because we spent a lot of time on that, man. But
Way too
it
much
was
time.
fun.
It was y'all
And me and
fault.
Josh, I don't
Listen,
know, man.
my road dog. You my road dog, Dave in the cut.
I'm not changing my opinion on Vic.
Thank you.
I'm not doing it, Daddy.
We're gonna have to see what people say in the chat, man. This is wild.
I don't know. We'll wait. We'll wait and see.
Personal
yeah,
preference. Keywords.
That's it. All right.
All right.
So what we rocking with next? We rocking with
Number
the next
2.
topic.
Yep.
Let's get with it. All right, get it up there, man. Let me pull it up on my end. All right. While winning titles is the main goal for all sports organizations, American athletes care more about leaving a personal legacy than bringing home a trophy. All right. Whew, let's get a vote on this, man. Let's go. Let's count it down. 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Zeke, Josh, myself a 4. Peasy is a 3. Peasy, let's hear from you first.
Okay, so I'm kind of in the middle on this because I think if you guys understood like where the whole topic came from, it came from AJ Brown's comment after the Super Bowl, and we probably should have played the clip of Devontae Smith, Eagles wide receiver, agreeing with AJ Brown's comment where he was just there like, man, like after winning the Super Bowl, like he thought it was going to be like the end all be all. And then he was just there like, you know what? It's like, I guess I love the grind more than, the actual winning the title. I think for like just to give it a little context, this conversation is that if you remember the playoffs last year, AJ Brown was reading a book the entire time on the sidelines. I remember that. That book actually, I've been reading it because my company makes wants us has a book of the month, and it's called Inner Excellence by Jim Murphy. It's actually a pretty good book. But essentially, it's about valuing the process over the destination, understanding that in a competition, you can only control your actions. And so the author actually gives like a little bit about, hey, which scenario is better if you're a track athlete and you win a race, but maybe it was like 10 seconds or a tenth of a second less than what you usually average, but you won that race. Is that better than the guy who finished second place? But his time was a personal best for him. Who had a better race? The guy who had the personal best or the guy who like did less than average for him? And so like, I think a lot of people would be there like, bro, the dude that won the race. But like, I mean, the whole story of the book is about trying to one up yourself, competing with yourself, and trying to find joy in the competitive process. And so I think it's a good story to tell. You just never say that in front of Jordan or Kobe because they ain't trying to hear that. They trying to be the GOAT. They trying to win. And so like I think most people can benefit from that. And then you got those alpha among alphas that, their main goal is, man, I want that championship. You know what I mean? And that championship is going to be my legacy, not just doing the best that I possibly can. And I think that's what Devontae Smith and AJ Brown was talking about. Is they're like, man, I got to the top of the hill. And now what I realize is most important to me is the grind and the struggle to get to that point. That's the process that I love, not necessarily just that one little moment of being able to hold up a trophy, because the trophy doesn't, signifies the work that I put in. And that work is where I'm getting my joy from. And so that's a little bit of the context, and I agree. I agree with them on some level. But as a sports fan, I think you always appreciate that dog, that dude like Kobe and that Jordan is just there, like, man, forget all that. Like, I'm gonna get that chip, and so that's why I gave it a 3 because I can see it both ways.
All right. Josh, let's go with you.
My bad. All right, so I was trying to load this clip, and I'm gonna get it here in a second. On the next, when you guys talk, I just wanna play it. But my take is exactly like that. I saw this clip, I shared it with you guys. It's Devontae Smith, like Peasy was saying, just reflecting on the Super Bowl win, right? And he started agreeing with the AJ Brown take, like he thought that was gonna be like the peak. Moment of joy in his career of achieving like that number one seat, that bringing home the belt, bringing home the trophy. And then after the next few minutes of holding that Lombardi up, they were like, eh. And then I just had to think about it. Like, at one point, if you look at it, every single sports player, it doesn't matter what sport you're in, your whole desire is to win, right? You want to win, and you want to win it all. You want to go as far as you possibly can. You want to beat down your opponents, and you want to say, I'm the best right now. And I think modern sports has kind of given people more a personal brand. Dave in the Cut said it best. Giving people more of a personal brand, and with that, modern sports players care more about that personal brand because money nowadays, it's got to stretch longer, it's got to stretch farther, and rightfully so. They are their own business, and I don't blame them. Part of me, like Peasy was just saying, I don't blame them. But at the same time, like, you can't come out and be like, I won the Lombardi and it died off after the next 20 minutes. But there are players that will never even get to the big game. There are some players that may not even see the playoffs for that matter. And these dudes are coming out like, it wasn't a big deal. I won a Heisman, I won a Natty, I won the Super Bowl. What's next? I just think that that's kind of a slap in the face to the sports world to be like, you know what? It's not that big of a deal to win a championship anyways. As long as your pockets are fat and you're content with where you are, then you're good. You can get rich doing anything for that matter. I don't think that should be the end goal. You should be able to look back 10, 15, 20 years after your career ends and be like, I accomplished this. I did this. I won those trophies. I set those records. I left this impact. People are going to be talking about me 10, 20, 30, 40 years later down the road. And so for me, I gave it a 4 because I think today's sports people are just spoiled.
I can't believe you got that take, bro. You know who doesn't have any kind of like trophies and left a personal legacy? Michael
Michael
Vick, bro.
Vick.
You should have gave it a 1. Bro, you just contradicted yourself, brother.
How did I'm curious. How did I contradict myself? Go ahead. Explain it.
Bro, you said Vic was top 5. Like,
And how did I
he's
say he
got
was
no
top?
trophies.
Explain to me
He's
how I said he was top 5.
what? The
Why did I
last
put him in the top 5?
Why did he put him in the top 5?
because of the impact he had.
So then I
That's
literally
that's a
just told you,
personal legacy.
yes,
He's got no trophies.
correct. It's no trophies, but guess what? What I'm trying to say is Vic never said, yeah, the scoring title is no big deal. Or the running title is no big deal. The average yards per game, it's no big deal. He never downplayed his impact to the game. Devontae Smith coming out and being like, I won the trophy and it's no big deal. That's downplaying your impact to the game, bro.
Easy. Let me
Bro, he had no
let
impact.
me
But go
interject,
ahead.
bro. Let me
He
interject,
had
bro.
no impact, but
No
they
impact,
got.
Let
bro.
me
Something
interject
mattered.
real quick.
Go ahead.
Every time you see Sean Merriman was a phenomenal football player, right? As soon as he came on the scene, who did they compare him to? Lawrence Taylor.
Taylor.
Any linebacker or edge rusher, Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor, his impact on the game is unquestionable. Okay, and he won championships. He was a phenomenal player. He forever impacted the game that people are playing today. Anytime that you hear a young linebacker coming up, the first thing they do is compare him to Lawrence Taylor, man. You don't that's not legacy impacting, bro. That's league
Lifetime.
game impacting.
Yeah.
This man literally has had an impact on the game where has been retired since I could remember. And they still talk about him. They compare all of these players. He reminds me of a young Lawrence Taylor. They do the same with Mike Vick, and they will continue to do it because he was the first to do it. And when he did it well. You could keep the championships and the MVPs. They are still going to compare these young guys running the ball to Mike Vick because he was a game-changing quarterback. He was a game legacy changing quarterback. And no matter what people say, you could laugh about the top five, man. It's not going to change the fact that Mike Vick changed the game forever with his style of play. As soon as he left Vitek and he came into the league, man, it was over. Now everybody, he reminds me of a young Michael Vick. He reminds me of Mike Vick. He's got that Mike Vick quality. It doesn't matter what he did. It doesn't matter he went to jail for whatever with the dogs, dog fighting or whatever, man. The dude is at a HBCU now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's here locally.
Changing lives, man. And you
Norfolk
know what he's
State.
probably doing? He's probably teaching some young quarterback to be a pocket passer, man. You know, Mike Vick, the way he played, he did it because he almost had to do it, man. You know what I'm saying? And he ended up changing the game. So Zeke, it's your turn, man. We still on this top five quarterback. We can't get away from it, bro. I can't even remember what we were talking about, man. Let me read this thing. Oh, the titles. Okay. Go ahead, Zeke.
Oh man.
Zeke, what'd you give it a 4, right?
I did give it a 4. At the end of the day, it's nice to have the trophies. Um, and I kind of took exception to this because we I think during the conversation when it first came up and I saw that we were uh, painting this out to be American athletes. I think as athletes across the world, and um, we focus on American athletes because we're here. But I think if you go to other countries with other sports, you'll see the same thing. The
Like
trophy.
what sport would you name, Zeke?
Well, I mean, the biggest sport in the world is soccer.
Yeah,
Um,
that's why I asked you that because you know what though, man. Them, I don't think anybody's brand is bigger than like Premier League players. You know,
so we
European.
talking about brand or legacy though? Like, I think brand and legacy are two different things.
Yeah, I don't think I think the fans create the legacy thing for European soccer players. I think fans are the ones that are like, he needs to win this for his legacy to be this. And I think the analysts over there push it because, like with Premier League, I watch it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Man
Hmm.
City's my team. I think that I think those guys are rock stars over there, and their brands are actually bigger than who they are on the field a lot of times. But when they hit that field, they're all about business. It's about winning, trophies for them. And the brand takes care of itself because of their popularity. So I think a lot of them they may get I don't know, they may get accused of being brand hungry and image hungry because of their popularity. If you watch them on the pitch, you're never going to hear any of them saying, we won the trophy, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like I thought it would feel because there's too much legacy in European football for them to care so little about clutching that and holding that trophy. over here, man, I just feel like they're spoiled. I'll get it. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but go ahead.
No, I appreciate the clarification. I mean, I brought up a point. You gave your counterpoint. I got no problem with that. But I think at the end of the day, um, athletes today realize that yeah, you can win a trophy, but when all is said and done, you want to be part of that GOAT conversation. You want to be. Would you rather be Robert Ory or Vince Carter? Robert
Ooh,
Ory or Tracy McGrady? Robert Ory got 7 rings. You ever
T-Mac,
hear
AC all
Big
day.
Shot Bob? He's clutch. He
we
ain't
talk
one of the
about Big
goats.
Shot Bob all the time, man.
He's clutch. He ain't one of the goats. You talk to any of his teammates, Robert Ory, Steve Kerr, John Paxson,
Yeah.
big time clutch moments. They got rings, never considered in the GOAT category. So at the end of the day, yeah, it'd be nice to retire and say I won 3, 4, 5, 6 championships. But if I had to choose, I'd rather be uh, Tracy McGrady or Vince Carter or pre-injury Grant Hill or Charles Barkley. When you talk about the greatest at your position in your sport, I'd love to be in that conversation. The championships will be a bonus. But when people talk about the greatest of all time, I want to be Dan Marino. Yeah, you look at my numbers, you look at my performance on the field, it's hard to deny me as one of the greatest of all time. I didn't get the rings, but rings are a team accomplishment. Championship trophies are a team accomplishment.
For sure.
And if I can't get my general manager to go out and get me some help, I can be a Mike Trout. I can be a Ken Griffey Jr. I can be a Barry Bonds. Yeah, I went to baseball. My bad. It's natural for me. All right, but if I ever made it to the pinnacle of my favorite sports and I actually achieved my goals of being a professional athlete, the rings and the trophies and the team accolades, those would be the icing on the cake for me. But at the end of the day, I want to be able to look back and say I was the best at what I did at a long stretch of my career.
Hmm.
Okay. I'll rock with that. All right. Let me jump in and give my opinion real quick. So I was at a 4. And to touch on the whole AJ Brown, Devontae Smith thing, to me, this boils down to uh, it boils down to the generation that we're living in right now. Okay, um, the number of athletes that have been on the grind for decades, okay, to hoist the championship trophy in the said league that they play in is astronomical. There are athletes that have dedicated their entire being to trying to reach that pinnacle. And when they sit back and they hear these two individuals talk about how I just don't get the feels. The feels mean nothing to me since, it's just, I my book on the sideline is more important to me. What you playing for then? Why you here? What is I understand like I can't judge a man for not having the same passion as I do about something. You know what I'm saying? Like I could lead my grandson to the Yankees and I can build him up to be a Yankee fan, but I can't be upset if he doesn't want to watch every single game that comes on every day of the week like his papa does. You feel me? And I can't pretend to be like, to understand what it's like to be them. However, I just think it's a slap in the face to all of those that came before them, um, to even admit that they can feel how they want to feel, but to admit that openly, I just feel like it's kind of disrespectful to the people that have dedicated their lives to the grind and have done it at all costs um, to lift those trophies and they literally have not only put their legacy aside, and they haven't really thought about their legacy. Their legacy has been their journey to get there. You look at Kobe Bryant, man. Every time we talk about Mamba, man, right? It's always about his killer instinct, right? Who today, he's gone, and who today, when you talk about Bean, right? Who today compares to that? We're always talking about, man. We talk about Bean's grind. We talk about Jordan's grind. Who today has that grind? Like, what athlete can we say, man, they're just like that? You
Brady
cannot
did.
find them.
Brady did for sure.
Brady's gone, bro. He not
Here's
there.
the thing. Here's the thing. Going back to what you said at the beginning of your take, though. Different generation, though. And I think long gone is the athlete who's gonna give their all for the game at the sacrifice of mental health, physical health. I mean, basketball we talk about load management all the time, but let's take it to golf. You look at what Tiger Woods is going through with like his body failing on him, and this I'm taking back before that nasty car crash that he had. Tiger dedicated every waking moment to the game. That's what drove him to be the GOAT, but at what cost? I mean, he lost his marriage. He's working crazy hard to have that relationship with his kids now. We saw that. It's like when he came out and decided, you know what, I'm gonna change my ways. I'm gonna be more of a family man. Unfortunately, that's when we started seeing Tiger fall off because he wasn't dedicating all that extra time to practice. Um, you can't. I think it's hard to be that Michael Jordan, the Kobe Bryant, the Tom Brady. Look at Tom Brady. My man retired from the game and was home for 3 weeks and said, you know what? I miss getting chased by big sweaty men. I'm going back to play ball. And his marriage crumbled. All right. It's hard to have that drive. Yeah, I know, pause, whatever, Peasy. But
Oh,
that's what it was.
I
When you
see it
look
though.
at it, my man was home for like 3 weeks and said, yeah, this ain't for me. All right. We hear stories all the time about how it's hard for the top athletes to come home after retiring because for the past 10, 15, 20 years, all they knew was ball because that's what they dedicated their lives to. You come home, it's like getting out of jail. You got to get reacclimated to the community, which is your family. You're not going to see that drive, that Mamba mentality where it's just, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym, that Rick Ross line. No, you ain't going to see that because now players are making time for their family, their brand. You see, like they've been harping on all the podcasts and everything the athletes got. They're out doing other things. They still gonna go out there and ball. They're still gonna perform, but they're finding other ways to get their practice in and be able to be more well rounded. It's not just about ball, eat, sleep, drink,
Yeah,
ball.
and for clarity, bro, I have no problem with these guys having a brand, right? But don't forget the thing that got you your brand. Paul George, I don't even know Paul George is a basketball player anymore, man. What's the name of his? What's the name of his podcast?
I
Something
didn't even
P,
know Paul George had a podcast.
bro. That's all they
Yeah,
talk
he
about,
paused it. He
huh?
decided to discontinue the podcast though.
Yeah, but he's out for the season now. You think he's gonna pause it? He's gonna go right back to it because that's if Paul George isn't on the court, nobody knows what he knows he's even relevant, man. The
Yeah.
dude is like he spends more energy on the podcast than he does his craft, the vehicle that got him there. And far be it from me to like, I'm not hating on that, man. But what I'm saying is you can't you can't ride the horse that got you there, right?
Right.
Right. And then you jump off of it and like, oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna run over here. And then come back, look at the horse has ran off, man. By the time, and then you need to get back to where you were. The horse has ran off on you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like ball is leaving him right now, man. He's not on the court enough. He's, people say injuries or whatever. It's like spend the time that you spending on your podcast taking care of your body, man. Dudes
Yo,
are
I've also
literally spending millions of dollars a year taking care of their bodies.
I
LeBron
will just
James
say
isn't
this
still
though,
on the court for no reason. That dude is spending millions on his body, man.
$3.
You
bro.
know,
Like I don't want you to be too harsh on Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. I mean, it's Josh's team. I don't really care, but like when you understand like the pressure on the American athlete, um, it hits different, especially in this day and age of social media. And so I think what the book is just basically talking about is kind of finding your peace and your motivation outside of the results. Because at the end of the day, in a competition, the book is talking about how two people compete. You try your best, but the other person is trying their best too. And so sometimes you win, sometimes they beat you, but is your life over just because the end result that you wanted you didn't achieve?
What if
And
they never
so
beat
now,
you?
I'm just old
well,
school,
well,
bro. It's
I
like
understand that, but like the
I'm just
part of
old
this
school,
is
man.
like,
And,
do
and
you
and
get
my thing is
broken
this:
because of
the
that?
book is fine. The book is cool. Read the book when you off the sideline, bro. Your job is on the sideline. Get in that playbook, man. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
Get
he
in there
played
with
great.
your boys. Figure out how
If
you're
I
gonna
was the
be.
Eagles, I would say read that book more if it's going to get us another chip. He played great.
No, do you want to know why he really needed to read that book, though?
He's stressing out.
Yeah, yeah.
Why was he
So listen,
stressing
let me
out?
let me back up. Let me back up.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
because
we're at 52 minutes right here. We might have
okay,
to.
let me just back up real quick, because
Mhm.
I'm this is important, man, and I don't want to seem like I'm coming down on AJ Brown. AJ Brown a couple years ago was talking about taking his life, man,
Yeah.
and it's important to talk about that. So I don't want to be too hard on AJ Brown. I guess what I'm saying is, in the grand scheme, all athletes, right? I feel like AJ Brown is the exception, because this is something that keeps him out of his own head. I find that a lot of, like, Ron Artest, he needed something to keep himself out of his own head. He had his therapist used to sit behind the bench at Laker games, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Got a
so
shout out after he won that trophy.
no doubt. So that they could be a presence for him when he felt like he was going crack, he could look and see that his therapist was behind the bench. So with AJ Brown, if this book is his therapist, listen, man, far be it for me to say he shouldn't be doing it.
Hmm.
All I'm saying is, don't forget don't give up on the horse that brought you there, man. You know what I'm saying? And ball is what got you there, right? And you if you don't like what you're doing, man, walk away from it. If it's causing you, if it's interfering with your well being, you need to walk away from it. You know what I'm saying? And you need to figure something else out. But I don't like the fact that they're saying I need to take care of myself and I need to do this, and the chip isn't really that important. What's more important is my well being. If your well being is more important, walk away and focus on your well being, but don't belittle the chip on your way out. That's all I'm saying.
His lead, man, his number one, his ace on the team, Jalen Hurts, the dude throwing him the ball. He said, "Money's great, trophies are better."
Better. That's it. That's it. All right. So we getting low on time. So
We
uh,
got speed run through these last topics.
that was a
Yes,
good.
sir.
Well, this we're gonna hop through it. Really, it's just a rundown. So let's real quick. Let me do this real quick. I want to give a shout out really quick to Opposition Radio.
I got
Um,
you.
yeah, appreciate you, man. So let me just give a quick shout out. So Opposition Radio is a 24-hour internet radio station that offers Christian hip hop, EDM, R&B, reggae, Latin, and pop. Be sure to check out all the amazing artists in rotation by going to the opsradio.live from any internet browser, and just check out the good music. Great stuff going on over there. Check them out. Opposition Radio, motivation to stand firm. So big ups to my boys over at Opposition Radio.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's get into real quick. Let's jump into what happened today, and then we'll move on to our final topic. All right. All right, very good. So it happened today. Oh boy, this one's kind of hit. This one hurts a little bit, fellas. In 1974, George Foreman TKO's Ken Norton in the second round for the WBA, WBC, and the Ring heavyweight boxing titles in Caracas, Venezuela.
Wow.
And we lost Big George a few days ago. I believe it was over the weekend, wasn't it, fellas?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so we lost Big George, man. Big George was bigger than life. Big George, man, he kept a lot of cats in the game, and I'm gonna tell you how. A lot of cats was in college, man, didn't know how to cook. Came through with the George Foreman grill. You couldn't tell cats had no culinary skills, man. Thanks to
That's me,
Big
bro.
George, man. Feel me?
Shout
My
out
man
to the
took two
GOAT.
hot plates and soldered them together. Have you ever seen the prototype? It
No.
was a mess, bro. And then they prettied that thing up, man, and made the George Foreman grill.
Big
That's all,
dollars.
man. Listen, contributions to boxing, man, civil rights. The man was on point, man. He was bigger than life, and he will definitely be missed. So big up to Big George Foreman.
Yo,
Condolences to
not
his
for
family.
nothing. Just a little tidbit. If you guys watched the movie he did, he actually got back into boxing and ended up winning the chip after he retired
Yeah,
because he was
Oh yeah.
trying to put on for his church. And so like, just wanting to give back to his community, he went back and accomplished something that no one else did at that age. And so, we a lot of this generation knows him for, the George Foreman grills. And believe me, cats like me, very, very appreciative of that because that was like the only way I knew how to cook. I was that dude in college, just there like, Chris, you don't know how to cook, but I got this George Foreman grill, and that's all you need. And you got your slice of bread, you got some peanut butter, and I got a George Foreman grill.
bro.
Like,
I
what
used
else
to
do you
put
need?
some actual steaks on that joint, man.
That's
That's right,
hilarious.
bro.
Facts.
Like, George Foreman to go
Them
for that,
Foreman
bro.
steaks ain't
So
no joke.
shout
Facts,
out to the impact.
no doubt, man. All right, very good, fellas. Good job. All right, so let's get into our final segment, fellas. Let's jump into the weekly roundup real quick. So, weekly roundup, man, is crazy. So we got March Madness going on right now. My bracket I'm doing actually pretty good, man. I'm on the ESPN bracket. I'm ranked like 290,000. I'm looking at I'm doing all right though, because I'm looking
I
at
was
those
about to say,
guys.
Dave, you're doing pretty good.
Oh man, I'm
Yeah.
killing it, bro.
I thought he was about to say
I'm like at
290th.
99.6%. I'm looking at cats like Phil Yates and all these. I mean, I think Jay Williams, man, that dude is ranked like 7.5 million, bro. I'm like, y'all the heads, man. How are y'all ranked so horrible? All the ESPN folks are ranked horrible, bro. I'm like 290,000. I'm good. I'll take that. So it is what it is. I
No,
got
no, no, no.
I
You
got Duke.
can't say
I
that.
got Duke winning the
1 second
winning the
after
Natty
talking
though.
about getting a chip, it's a chip or it's nothing. So if you ain't first, you're last.
Listen, man, I'm trying, man. All I got to do is put it out there, right?
It's not
I
about
got my
trying.
little bracket
We
out
just
there,
Is
bro. I'm
Juju
discussed
trying.
winning a chip this year?
Huh?
Is Juju winning a chip this year?
Oh man,
Wow. You had to go there?
Hey, I'm just asking. Is she going to leave an impact on the game?
Wow, man.
oh
You
boy,
sound like a hit.
yeah.
That
So
sounds like something
I
Peasy
didn't
would have
put
said,
Juju
man.
on here, but yeah, well, let's
it.
talk about that real quick.
What?
So,
Me? Nah.
what do you guys think?
Uh,
Do they
I
stand a
think
chance,
I think
fellas?
Jaden Daniels' mom put the juju on Juju.
Oh
Okay.
snap!
Yeah,
My man trying
she's
to come up with news headlines. The
What you guys
juju
think about
on
that real
Juju.
quick? Mom doing too much?
yeah, mom doing too much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She is.
yeah.
I would need to hear her reasoning for stepping in, and she would have to
Listen,
make a
man.
compelling argument. It
She
just looked
is
like two
she is
kids
messing up
talking.
the gene pool for her future grandkids, bro. By she sees her son, right, talking to this young lady, all right, star player, like probably the best player in women's NCAA basketball,
Mm-hmm.
and she comes and sits in between them, man, because I don't even know why she did it, man. But I'm like, let that man live, man. I've seen her do this to him a few times in interviews and stuff. I've seen her tell him to get off the phone when the camera was on him and stuff like that. I feel like, listen, far be it for me to tell a mom how to raise her son, man. But the dude's like what, 24 years old, and
24.
I get it. She's trying to navigate him, through the waters and stuff. But my man is the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders, man, and he's a man of faith too.
Yeah.
So I have faith that he will make smart decisions, but let him live a little bit. I feel like his mom oversteps a little bit.
Bro, don't do what Stephen A did. You can't talk on someone's parenting, bro. Like
I didn't talk
you can't
about
do
her
that, bro.
parenting. I'm just saying I think she's
You
doing a
can't.
little too much. I didn't say
Not,
nothing as a parent. I think she's doing too much. I just think
What's he
she's
gonna
doing.
do in the stands in public? Come on, man. Just let him talk.
Oh, man.
Let him
They're
talk.
young, man. They're young. And just think, man, like she could have a gang of like 6'5" grandchildren, man, just dominating right now. You know what I'm saying? Like
Athletes.
the future is bright for them, man. She needs to get out of the picture and let them kids be kids, man. Seriously.
Yo,
Yeah,
speaking of March Madness, back in '79, a bonus on this day, Magic Johnson beat Larry Bird for the championship in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, we could have used that for this, for this it happened
segue.
today. But
Yeah, George takes precedence.
yeah, but that's a great one, man. Everybody was watching that. You know, it was like French Lick, Indiana, man, against the world.
Right.
That was
Speaking of segue,
huh?
Dame's injury, right? Segue right into the NBA with Dame's injury, man. Like my man, same injury. If I understand, as
Wimby
Wemby.
Wemby.
I
Yep.
mean, the
Chris
deep vein
Bosh.
Crazy.
thrombosis. It's
Yeah, you're right.
basically
Before
bloodshot.
that, we hadn't seen it since Chris Bosh. Like, what's going on with these type of injuries?
So just for, I mean, this hits home a little bit for me, right? Because a good friend of mine, somebody that I was really close to, he passed away from a blood clot in the leg that made its
Hmm.
way up to the lungs, right? And it is serious if it's not taken care of. Now these athletes, they've got. I'm sure they've got all of the best healthcare at their exposure, but
It's scary, man.
it is very scary.
It's like a
And
ticking time bomb.
yes, absolutely. And he 100% did the right move in taking care of himself. What good is all those accolades? What good is all that money if you're not here to enjoy it?
No doubt.
Yeah, what are the odds in the same NBA season to have two players with that kind of a rare diagnosis?
Yeah.
Right.
Makes you wonder if it's training related or something, man. Like I don't
Or
know.
if it's that rare to begin with.
Right.
I wonder if it is that rare, or maybe it's
Just
fallout from the COVID vaccine. No, I'm just playing. I don't want to
Hey,
get our
hey,
people.
hey, hey, hey. This isn't tats, bro. This is not tats. Let's not.
Hey, we're gonna get it, Paul. Ah,
somewhere Dave Vargas Sr. is like, that's right.
ah.
Shout out to Jammer, man. Jammer Jugs,
Emma Jugs.
baby. All right, cool. So last
Opening
topic,
day, baby.
uh,
Last but not least,
last but definitely not least, we are.
let's get it.
It
I want some
is
World Series
opening day
predictions right
eve
now.
for us right now. Talk us into it, Zeke.
I want some World Series predictions. I don't want to hear from Chris. Actually, I do want to hear from Chris. Chris, what's your World Series prediction? All right, never mind. I don't want to hear from Chris. Dave, who's your World Series prediction?
Ooh, boy. So you're gonna go right at me, huh? Man, I don't know, man.
Just say Subway Series.
Nah, man. I really think I don't know, Phillies. Let's go Phillies, man. I'm feeling look at Zeke.
What?
Nah, man, I'm just playing with you. So
He
listen,
was like, how can I cut both of them deep at one time?
Right?
listen, man.
Phillies,
My,
they may
my
not make the
Yankees are
playoffs, bro.
we're done, man. Like I don't. If we win 90 games, whatever, man. Everybody has us like going third overall or whatever. I'm not buying it, man. I think Boone gonna find a way to screw it up, along with Cashman. I'm not gonna ride two people from the Yankees this year. I am not riding Giancarlo Stanton. I don't care if he did break both of his elbows trying to lift, Fiats and Mini Coopers. Is that what they call 'em? I don't care. He every year this dude shows up for us in the playoffs, man. So in the offseason, he can do what he wants to do, man. He could go off on a little retreat with Aaron Rodgers if he wants to. There will be no Giancarlo Stanton slander from me. And another person that I'm not going to talk junk about this year is Hal Steinbrenner. Hal Steinbrenner stepped up this offseason, man. He got rid of the facial hair ban. He's told Cashman, here's your money, man, go spend it. And Cashman screwed it up. So, um, Braves. I'm rocking with the Braves this year. The Braves are going to take out the Dodgers. I cannot wait for it to happen.
Well,
Braves will
in the
be
World Series, though.
25 World Series champions. The Mets, I hope their plane breaks down. I hope that the
Dang.
plane that they try to get breaks
Oh,
down too.
that's
I hope
deep.
they end up having to take the bus everywhere they need to go to see.
Oh my God.
Deep.
My
but
man
bro,
said take the
the
bus
Braves
cross
can't
country to
play the
Seattle.
Dodgers in the World Series,
That's
bro.
on Granny. I hope it all happens. I
Oh,
hope it
Granny.
all happens.
That's cool, but who we beating in the World Series though?
Right? You ain't say who you beat in the World Series.
Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't, bro. I can't. I mean, who in America? The Red Sox. Red Sox look dangerous, man.
Dang.
I'm
My
all
man wearing
out
a
on them,
Yankees
man.
gear said the Red Sox gonna
Red
win the
Sox, man.
pennant.
We done, man. I'm telling you, we done. I don't think we have a right-handed batter in the lineup, man.
Yo, word on Granny is crazy.
Josh, who you got, man? We're gonna let you participate in this
We
one.
got some comments, man. We haven't been reading the comments.
Yo,
I'm gonna
Shalice holding it down. She
I'm gonna
holding it
be
down this
biased.
week.
Yo, we haven't been reading the comments at all, bro. What's going
Nah,
on?
There's a couple of
messing
them.
up,
Shalice, we appreciate you for commenting and keeping up with
representing.
us.
Shalice, next time it snow, I'm gonna brush your car off for you. How about that? That's my neighbor, yo.
Yo,
Zeke, I'm curious who you got. I think I'm not gonna tell you mine. I'm just curious who you got. I think it's gonna be a
No,
World
no,
Series
I'm
rematch.
gonna let you talk. Who you got? I want to hear you.
So we're,
I want to hear
it
you.
seems like one of those weird years where you're gonna get teams out of left field, and so I think it's a World Series rematch. Mets versus the Royals, and the Mets gonna win this time. Mets Royals.
Royals,
Bobby Witt Jr. is a beast, bro.
he is. But what about the rest of his team?
It just feels like a weird year. Like, who's going to take them out? The Yankees? I don't believe in the Red Sox. And the Houston Astros took a step back when they lost Tucker to the Cubs. I think they got a shot. It just feels like it might. This is one of those weird years. They could take that next step. They made it to the playoffs last year. They gave the Yankees, a decent run.
Yeah, they did, man. They did. I can't front. I love Bobby Witt Jr. You know he's gonna be a Yankee one day, right?
He might be. Zeke, who you got?
Well, duh. Look,
Oh,
Phillies, duh.
I'll say this.
that's me. I got the Phillies.
The ugh. You know we talking baseball, right?
Yep.
Um, the Dodgers look strong. The Dodgers are at the top of the world right now. However, we got Ronald Acuna coming back.
Yeah, preach.
Before there was 50-50, we had 40-70.
Church,
We
Church,
got
preach.
Spencer Strider coming back.
yes. He
We
looks
got
hot too, man. He look woo. He
we
look
got a
good.
healthy Austin Riley, healthy Ozzy Albies. Money Mike about to step up and be that superstar.
Like Harris, man.
Matt Olson's about to remember that he was the one that broke the Braves single season home run record.
So keep it going,
This
man.
is about to be a phenomenal. The Braves had a terrible season last year and made the playoffs.
Bro.
Bro, we let you make the playoffs. Don't forget that.
Oh my God.
We let you.
Listen.
Charity
The
case?
Mets are gonna Met. They're gonna fumble the bag. They had all this fanfare with Juan Soto, and that's gonna be their championship. We got Juan Soto. Woohoo! Third place in the division. The Braves are gonna win the National League, and they're gonna beat the Texas Rangers in the World Series.
Wow. Okay.
Rangers got a shot if they could get a healthy DeGrom, but DeGrom ain't never healthy, so I don't
And
know
that's
about that.
why I'm hoping he goes out and wins the Cy Young just to rub it in your face.
Yeah.
He won Cy Youngs before. That's not rubbing it in nobody's face.
Bro, you guys are
If
speaking.
if
Oh,
the
he
Braves if
does.
the Braves don't make the World Series, I'm rooting for DeGrom to win the World Series.
That's
Me
hot.
too.
I like that.
Not mad at DeGrom.
You guys
But
are
yeah, go Braves.
speaking like the most foreign language to me right now.
I know, I'm sorry,
And
Josh.
all these names out there, I don't even.
The only
I'm
reason we
actually
did this
ashamed
to you
to
is
do that.
because what tomorrow? Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow is what Dave really wants to focus on. Forget what happened last week in Tokyo. Nobody cares.
Care about that.
Tomorrow is what it is.
I'm gonna watch some
Don't care
games
about
with you
that,
guys
man.
this year. That's my oath. That's my promise.
I don't. I don't. I
Josh is
don't.
like, yo,
I
I'm
don't
rooting
care
for the
about.
Phillies because Michael
I don't
Vick might
care
get a
Phillies
tip
about
all
like
day.
him.
Otani. I don't care about Otani's dog. I don't care that Mookie Betts just lost 15 pounds in 2 days. I don't care about none of that, man. I don't.
I hope he's
Yo,
okay. I hope he's
that
healthy.
Betts thing might be serious, bro. Like you've been pretty grim today. That Betts sickness might be
Nah, he's
serious.
getting better. The only reason I'm even going there is because I've been reading about it. He's getting better. He just it's the weight thing that's bothering him right now. The team won't let him do anything, so he's starting to eat and he can hold food down and stuff like that. But it's crazy that they let him go on that trip, man. They let him take that long flight knowing he wasn't feeling well. He got over there in another country, mind you, where the standards are different over there. And my man drops 15 pounds. They got him doing the media rounds and all of this stuff. And then they're like, all right, get back on the plane another 24 hours and go home. That's bananas, man. They should have just quarantined him, man, and just and let him chill. They shouldn't have made him fly around the world. Go over there just to come right back. That was crazy.
What do you have, like the flu or something?
They don't even know, man. It's just some
Something
stomach
worse.
thing.
Some virus.
But from a humanity standpoint, I'm rocking with Betts, and I hope he get better. But as a baseball fan, I couldn't care less.
Y'all gotta remember. Before Betts was wearing that Dodger blue, he was over in Fenway
Right?
terrorizing the Yankees. So
Yeah, he was.
that's where Dave's disdain as
Deep
from
hate. Deep
Mookie
hate.
the baseball player comes
Listen,
from.
man,
Mookie the person, we got love for him. On the baseball field,
Yo,
I
Dave in the
I
cut
could
got
care
that
less, man.
Mamba mentality as a fan, bro, and it's scary.
he do.
He's there like, if you ain't on my team, y'all could die. I'm like,
It's
damn.
it's worrisome sometimes, man. I'm not gonna front. My wife will tell you, bro. It's like it's a
That's
problem.
extreme.
Well, I told my 6-year-old grandson that Juan Soto was dead to us. I didn't even realize I said it.
Oh my god!
My family had to tell me that I was gave him that speech, bro. And now he just, man, like
Good
Ez is
thing.
like he don't even want to talk about Juan Soto, man. I had
Yo,
to give
you,
him a Juan Soto card. He gave it back to me.
Dave, you give me the vibes of like if you was a Cavaliers fan, you would have been one of them dudes like outside of like Quicken Loans burning LeBron's
Burning
jersey.
LeBron jersey.
Nah, I don't.
Burn!
That's ridiculous, man. I'm not burning something I paid for, bro.
Right. Right.
I take that joint over to Goodwill, man. So anyway, let's so we got a nice little round take. Happy opening day to everybody tomorrow, man. Even if you're not a baseball fan, this is a grand time. We got a lot going on right now, man. We got basketball's going on, hockey's still going on. The baseball's kicking off.
Mhm.
You know, Premier League is getting ready to decide whether Man City is going to be regulated. I think it's called whatever. Whether they're going to be banished from
Demoted.
down to a lower tier and lose like 1 billion points and trophies and stuff like that. So
And the Masters is right around the corner.
yes, it is. The Masters is coming up, man. So
Good time to be a sports fan.
yeah, Formula One's going. Everything's kicking off. NASCAR's kicked off, so everything's going right now. Everything, and then what's the football league? What's the new league called? The Rocks League.
USFL or
What's the
something?
Rocks football league called?
The who?
Why does everybody not know about the Rocks football league?
XFL?
Who's the Rocks?
The Rock.
The XFL?
Don't you smell what the Rock is cooking? Yeah, the XFL.
Oh,
That kicks off in a
that.
couple weeks. Next week, I think. So there's some good ball in that. Y'all check that out too.
Most
Yo,
definitely.
shout out. They're not a sponsor, but shout out to T-Mobile free MLB TV for the season, bro. Clutch. Get to watch every
Oh man,
game.
you giving free pub to these dudes, man? They should be sponsoring us, man. They need to be sponsoring us and our 30 subscribers right now. They tripping, man. What's going on? Can't get no love?
Nah, shout
Subscribe.
out.
Yo,
Everybody who's watching, if you're not
Shout out.
subscribed, please subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to us. Shout out Bronny for dropping buckets in the G League.
Yeah.
Where's the Sandman?
MVP, baby.
yeah,
Everybody gonna be playing like him. He gonna be on somebody's top 5, Peasy.
bro. Like, no
Outside
doubt.
Lakers.
I'm not a Mike Vick hater. I'm gonna go watch Norfolk State. Maybe play a game this year. I'm gonna root for them. Maybe if Norfolk State get a chip, maybe he makes it to my top 5 because he'll finally have like a
Oh
trophy.
my gosh, here we go. All right. It's been a great show, fellas. We appreciate everybody sticking in with us. We went about 15 minutes over, but we felt like all the topics and things that we talked about, were worthy of hanging in there a little extra time. But we appreciate you guys. We went a little long on our top 5 quarterbacks, but at any rate, we appreciate you being with us. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor of the show, check out the details and our description of the show. And that's all I got, fellas. We're gonna ride off, and then I'll see everybody next week, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
leave your top 5 in the chat if you want to join the conversation.
No doubt. Get in the
Absolutely.
chat.
We love to read them out.
All right, fellas. See y'all next week.
Peace.
Easy.